Hello, everybody who follows me on my blog. I wanted to say hi. For today's blog, I wanted to make a golf instructional video, and I thought who better to show it to you than myself. So the first thing we're going to work on is putting. So bring the camera in a little bit closer here to zoom in on my hands. So the average golfer tends to have their hands straight up like this. As you can see, there's no curl in this, and if you look at the club face now, you can see how straight upright that is. That's just going to lead to slices and shanks. As we move back up the camera, the way you should have your wrists is like this. See how my wrists are cocked now? There's a cock in my wrist. And then you push forward a little bit. And now look at the club face. It's straight up and down. Just like if you have your club face on your iron, up and down, she's not going to happen for you. So here, I'll go ahead and hit a putt the regular way that a lot of people putt. And I don't know if you guys could hear the contact, obviously it went in, but the contact of the camera, it sounded like a... Whereas with this system here, now watch, I'll miss. It's just so much more gentle. The contact is much more gentle. The second tip I'm going to give you is you have to find your zone with this kind of putting. So grab a couple Titleist balls here. And when you're standing over your golf ball, you got to figure out basically if you're a 1, 2, or 3. I'm a 2. So now if you watch me, I take one club, 2 clubs. Now if I drop the ball, it hits my club face. I'm not a 1 or a 3. If I do one, and I have my feet on the edge there, I'm going to miss. So what you want to do, obviously, is have your feet where the club face is pointing. And with 2, mine will hit. If I do 3, mine misses as well. So it's very basic. Most people that I've seen are 2s, but don't want to jinx you if you're not. Next thing we'll work on is keeping your head down and waiting for the ball to drop in the hole. So basically, I'm going to show you with an iron, because most people, this is where most faults are, is not in their putting game with their irons. So now watch. I'll hit a shot on the mat here. If I lift my head, notice how when I lifted my head, I missed. That's going to turn into a topped golf ball. If I strike the ball properly, keeping my hands inside, hear how it makes that nice whish when I kept my head down? It's the exact same thing for your putting. You're almost asking for your golf game to be uncontrolled when you lift your head. So now, even if I have the perfect setup, and I lifted my head, it went in, but I overhit that ball. If there's any break, that's probably going to turn into a 3-putt. Whereas if I keep my head down and listen for the ball to drop in the hole, you get a more consistent roll. That is where I aim the golf ball. That's pretty extreme, but when you're just starting out learning this, you have to teach yourself to stare at that ground the entire time. The next tip I have for you is to teach yourself speed control again. If you choose to switch to this new putting method, you have to reteach yourself your control with your putter. If you watch 2 putts here, this is the traditional way, and a simple foot-to-foot swing. Okay, you saw that speed. Now this is traditional foot-to-foot with the new swing. Notice how that one came off faster? Because you get more bang for your buck, the less you have to swing with this swing. That's why that was much more controlled, softer, and nicer. Basic. This is only going to come from time on the range. And the next thing I have to say is, this swing is not I say it's 5 strokes in 5 minutes. That's what this series is called, but it truly isn't. You're watching a 5-minute video, but you're going to have to pour the time in on your carpet, on a practice green at your local golf club. You have to put the time in. Once you have to teach yourself to be ever confident with this putting stroke. If you don't put the time in, you're just going to end up with a worse putting game. You need to put the putting in to become more confident in situations until you hit the perfect situation where you're draining lots of putts. So that's it for our 5 strokes in 5 minutes. Can't wait to see you guys next week. Thank you.